If you've ever looked back at old data or received data and wondered what is going on, you would probably benefit from having a schema. In this video, I will walk you through the entire process of writing a schema for a sample dataset. All datasets have a schema, whether it's implicit or explicit. A schema takes the attributes of a dataset and describes them in a separate document. In the example dataset, the attributes are listed at the top, followed by the collected data. For use with the Semantic Engine, when you upload a dataset, it is processed locally, which means you never upload your data off your computer. The first row is used as the source for recommended attributes. Your attributes have to be in the first row to be read by the Semantic Engine. In this dataset, the attributes are correctly placed in the first row. Looking at the data, we can see that one column contains only two possible values, which is a list feature that will be explained later. If your dataset is large or contains private information, even though everything is processed locally, you can strip out the data and use only the headers. The Semantic Engine uses only the first row of a sheet. On to using the Semantic Engine. To access the different tools within the Semantic Engine, go to Quick Links, or you can click through the menu items to learn a bit more about what each component does. When writing a schema, the first step is to identify your spreadsheet. You can drag and drop the data into the system. You can see the different sheets in the Excel file, and I'm going to select the header sheet in blue. Click on Next, and you can see all my attributes from the header row have been copied into the Semantic Engine. If you were to do this manually, you would need to type out all the attributes. In the Semantic Engine, the only characters allowed for attribute names are letters, dash, underscore, and period. No spaces, no accented characters, or other symbols are allowed to be in an attribute name. After ensuring the attributes are well structured, you need to assign a classification and a schema name. In this example, the schema is named Milk Aggregation. A longer description can also be added to provide additional context. If you need guidance at any stage, tooltips and help with this page are available on every page. In the next screen, you can start to describe your data through a variety of features. You can specify if any data is sensitive to help downstream users understand potential risks. In my example, there is nothing sensitive, but to flag potentially sensitive data, you would check the attribute. Every schema must include data types for every attribute. For example, the animal ID is classified as numeric, the date attribute is recognized as a date-time format, and so on. Look at the help page for more information on which data types to use for your data. Now you can see that I have filled out all the data types, and the next feature to consider is list. Milking location is a categorical variable. That means that the data within it is limited to a specific set of values. I can specify the specific choice in a list. Lists are a valuable feature that let you standardize your data input and catch typos and other mistakes. Lists are also known as entry codes. Entry codes can either be manually added or imported from another source. If another schema already contains relevant entry codes, they can be reused instead of being recreated from scratch. Additionally, you can create a CSV file containing predefined entry codes that can be uploaded for convenience. For example, you could use the unique function in Excel if you already have the data collected to generate a CSV file with a list of the entry codes to import. When I add a CSV source for entry codes, I can now add codes and labels. The code is the part that is in the data, while the label may be different. In this dataset, the code values are identical to their English labels. However, in multilingual settings, different labels can be assigned based on language preferences. Read the help page for more information on entry codes. Labels provide user-friendly names for attributes, making them easier to understand. For instance, the abbreviation DIM may not be immediately clear, but labeling it as days in milking makes your data more clear. Labels are especially useful when working with collaborators who work in a different language because you can add labels in other languages to help others understand your data. Descriptions further enhance understanding by offering detailed explanations of each attribute. Clear descriptions can be very helpful for other researchers viewing your data. You can add quite a bit of detail in descriptions. My descriptions here are very short because I am not deeply familiar with this dataset. A data creator is the best person to add helpful and descriptive information. Schemas can also include additional rules to further define the dataset. Attributes such as animal ID can be marked as required to ensure they are always present. Format rules specify the expected format for each data entry. For example, durations must follow the ISO standard of hours, minutes, and seconds, while lactation numbers should be recorded as integers. Learn more about different features in the Help for this page from the link at the top of the web page. The schema is then reviewed and exported, generating a JSON file that contains all schema information in a machine-readable format, along with a README file. The machine-readable JSON file is what you can reuse in multiple tools in the Semantic Engine, such as generating a data entry Excel or verifying your dataset. The README file is a human-readable version of your schema in an archival text format. It provides an overview of the schema and includes all the derived identifiers of all the schema components, as well as all the content you just created. After completing the schema, it is important to store the JSON schema package file and the README alongside the dataset. Keeping these files together ensures that when the dataset is shared or referenced in the future, all necessary schema information is readily available. Thank you for watching.